Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm happy to have you here on our English Learning Podcast. Today, we'll talk about why you don't need to please everyone and how you can learn to say no. Many people feel pressure to always make others happy or say yes to every request from friends, family, or their boss. This habit can make it hard to focus on your own wants and needs. Wanting to please others often comes from a good place. People who try to make others happy care deeply about keeping good relationships. This is called sociotropy, which means working hard to keep others happy and maintain peace. This habit can also come from the culture or society you live in. In some places, people expect you to put others first and give up your own needs. These expectations can be stronger depending on your age, gender, or role compared to others around you. Trying too hard to please everyone can cause problems. Saying yes too much can make you feel worried or sad. It's more than just being kind or helpful. It can affect your life in big ways, like having no time for yourself because you can't say no to requests. When this happens a lot, you might forget what you want or need. This can feel like you're losing yourself. Feeling stressed from always pleasing others can be a sign to change. Learning to say no is a simple way to start. Experts suggest ways to say no easily and in a way that works. This skill helps even if you only sometimes put others' needs before your own. Let's see what we can do to stop this habit. First, check why you say yes. Every day, people ask you for things. Some requests you really want to do, and some you feel you must do. For many requests, saying no is okay. Everyone needs to find a balance, but people who try too hard to please others say yes too often, and for the wrong reasons. So, how can you know if you're pleasing others too much? Start by watching your yeses, like a method used in therapy called self-monitoring. For a week, write down every request you say yes to. Note how many there are, how saying yes makes you feel, and how much time these requests take from your life. At the end of the week, look at your notes. Pleasing others can show up in many ways. You might always say yes, even when you're very tired. Or it might be smaller things, like always acting nice, hiding your true thoughts, or going out of your way to make others feel good, even if it's hard for you. Sometimes, you might do things you don't want to, just to avoid upsetting others. Think about why you say yes. Pleasing others is often about wanting people to like you. Studies say people who focus on pleasing others feel safe only when others approve of them. If you say yes to feel accepted, liked, or respected, you might be saying yes too often. You might hope to get something back, like kindness or approval, instead of saying yes because you really want to do the task. Also, think about what you're scared of if you say no. Are you worried about upsetting someone or ruining a relationship? Are you afraid people will think badly of you? If your reasons for saying yes are about fear or worry, not practical reasons, this could mean you're pleasing others too much. The best way to know if pleasing others has gone too far is if saying yes makes you feel stressed, sad, or worried, or if it messes up your daily life. When you notice these moments, it's time to learn how to say no more often. The next thing you can do is wait before you say yes. One of the best ways to say no is to avoid saying yes right away. You might be used to agreeing to requests quickly. Instead, try to wait a little before answering. Even a short pause can help you think more clearly. Studies show that waiting, even for a moment, helps people make better decisions. Pausing gives you time to think about the request and how it affects you. If someone asks you in person, you can say you need a moment to think or will answer soon. If the request comes by text or email, it's easier to wait before replying. When you're thinking about the request, Check your limits. Ask yourself if doing this fits with what you're willing to do. Think about your current workload, schedule, and energy. Also, consider what might happen if you say yes. It might feel good now, but saying yes too much can cause stress or make you too tired later. Don't say yes just because you're scared of upsetting someone. It's okay to put your own needs first sometimes. Setting limits helps you keep healthy relationships. The third step is to practice saying small no's. To get better at saying no, practice with small things that don't feel too risky. Start by saying no to requests that aren't very personal, but still make you say yes to please others. This helps you get used to the uncomfortable feelings of not making everyone happy. Start with small no's, then move to slightly harder ones. For example, say no to small favors you often agree to, like extra tasks from friends or at work. This practice makes you more confident to say no in bigger situations. You can also change how you write emails or texts. Avoid using words that make you sound unsure or too polite, like saying sorry or maybe when you don't mean it. There are tools that can help you notice these words and write more clearly. When you see that saying no to a small request doesn't cause problems, it gets easier to say no to bigger ones. This is like a method used in therapy, where people face their fears little by little. You can make a list of no's, starting with easy ones and moving to harder ones. Try a new no each day or week until you feel ready to say no in the toughest situations. Next, say I don't instead of I can't. For example, say, I don't take on extra tasks when I'm busy, instead of I can't do that task now. I don't shows you're making a choice, which makes you feel stronger. I can't feels like something is stopping you, which makes you feel less in control. People who said I don't to unhealthy choices picked better options more often than those who said I can't. I don't feels like a choice and shows your willpower. I can't feels like a limit put on you, which can make you feel less powerful. You can use this for yourself, too. Instead of thinking, I can't say no, or I can't disappoint others, tell yourself, I don't always say yes, or I don't put others' needs first every time. This helps you feel more confident when you say no. The next step is to use a relational no to say no kindly. When you want to say no, you might feel like giving long explanations. Instead, try a relational no. This means saying no in a way that shows you care about your relationships. Explain that you can't help because you're already busy with other important responsibilities. This shows you value others, but have your own limits. Experts say this works well. One study showed that people had better results when they said what they needed while showing they cared about others. For example, they explained how their choice helped everyone involved. This way, your no is clear but kind, showing you're thinking about your duties to yourself and others. A relational no isn't a trick. It's honest about what you can do and how you care about others. It makes your no easier to understand and shows you're trying to keep your responsibilities balanced. And the last thing that can help you is to pay attention to how others say no. People say no to requests all the time, and it doesn't cause big problems. When you start noticing, you'll see that others often say no without everything falling apart, or people getting upset with them. Everyone has heard no before and still been okay. Try keeping a note for one day. Write down every time someone says no to a request. Notice that they're not being unkind. They just don't have the time or energy right now. Think about times when someone said no to you. Maybe they couldn't help with something or turned down a plan. Was it really so bad? Probably not. You likely moved on and were fine. This shows that saying no doesn't hurt people as much as you might worry. Others can handle your no, just like you handle theirs. Some people share kind and clear reasons when they say no. They explain that their decision isn't personal. They're just busy with other responsibilities. This makes their no easier to understand and accept. Saying no can feel scary, but it's normal. If you say yes to every request, you won't have enough time for what matters most to you, like your family, hobbies, or rest. You sometimes have to do things for others, but saying yes just to please people takes away from what you truly care about. And that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.